Hey guys, how's it going and welcome to a new video. So today we are looking at fantasy football. I did this last year, I'm not gonna lie, I got quite, just the same as every year to be honest. I got quite into it at the start and then obviously as the season goes on everyone kind of loses interest, and I actually set up a league last year. Some of you guys probably joined it, thank you very much for joining. I can't even announce the winner because I've left it too late and the whole thing's refreshed. So if you did win last year, well done to you. And I'm actually going to put a code for my new league down in the bottom corner here. So if you guys want to join, you can. There's actually already a handful of people because I basically just refreshed the league from last year. There's actually more than a handful. There's two handfuls. Like I said, I refreshed the league from last year. So if you were in it last year and you come back on, you should re-enter automatically. But if you didn't, like I said, use this code down here and you can get on. I am using the fantasypremierleague.com. I know the Sun newspaper and a few other people have got leagues and stuff, but this is the one I've been using for the last few years and this is the one I'm going to use again. So once you get onto the Fantasy Premier League website, it'll ask for your email address, your name, your favourite team, who you support, and it'll take you through and it'll make you choose your squad. What I did was I just clicked auto select, so that I could just get onto the league and make sure everything's set up for you guys. So I'm now going to go back onto my team and basically start afresh. You've got up until the start of the season to make as many transfers as you want. So I know we are a month away from the start, not 3 weeks. 3 weeks away from the start of the season, but there's still plenty can happen. So I will probably be changing it between now and the start of the season, but I figured whatever go today, and yeah, we'll see what it's like. This is my team at the minute. Like I said, I just was completely random selected. Oh, you can design a kit. Should we do that? Rob's Rovers. Pretty standard name there. Shirt colour. Should we just go Newcastle United? Sleeve colour. Okay, so my kit is designed and now we can look at my team. So what's worth bearing in mind is when you're doing your transfers, you can actually set up a formation that you want to play. You have to have a minimum of 3 at the back. But what I always do is have 3 at the back, and then either 5 in midfield or 4 in midfield with 3 or 2 strikers. So basically I'm getting the most out of my strikers and then tend to maybe not go as big with the defender. So it's worth bearing that in mind. Let's have it over to the transfers and we'll see what we've got to go with. Right, I have removed everyone from my squad, so it's a blank canvas. We've got 100 mil to spend. Obviously, as the season goes on, players increase value, players lose value, and it's up to you to try and pick the players you think are going to gain value or get rid when they're not scoring goals before they lose value. You pick 2 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, 5 midfielders, 3 attackers, and then 3 players go on the bench, including 1 goalie, and then normally for me, 2 defenders and a midfielder, because I like to play with all my strikers. So if we look at goalkeepers first, we can see that by position. So basically it also tells you how many points they got last year. So the top goalkeeper on this game last year was Heaton for Burnley, and he only cost 5 million. I'm not gonna lie, I do try and spend as least money as possible on the goalkeepers and defenders. So I've got loads for the midfielders and strikers. So most goalkeepers on here cost 5.5 is the highest it's going to go, and that's not really that expensive. And then obviously it goes 5, 4.5, and then there's a couple of 4 millions down here as well. So what I'm thinking is I'm actually going to go with Pickford from Everton, because they're actually they're lining up pretty well at the minute as for a team. He's only 5 million. And then, to be fair, actually look at it, they've not even got Tim Krul on this game. I was going to have a look at the Newcastle goalies. I imagine Elliott would probably get a game ahead of Darlow. Maybe, depending on what happens. If Elliott's going to play this season, there's still 3 weeks to go, so I don't know what's going to happen. But if Elliott's going to play, he's not. The idea is you want to spend as least as possible on your second goalie, because then you're going to have your first goalie in more than not. If Elliott's going to be playing full time for Newcastle, if we're playing against someone who isn't that great, and it could be worth swapping them around. So okay, I'm relatively happy with what I've got so far. Let's have a look at defenders. Most points defended last year was Gary Cahill, 6.5 million. I need to pick some gems, like Daniels from Bournemouth is only 5 million. Macaulay from West Brom, he scored so many goals last season on this stupid game. I'm actually tempted to go with him. Bertrand, only 5.5 mil as well. Keane from Everton, He's carried over his price from Burnley, I think. Right then, I have picked my 5 defenders. I've kind of gone for attacking fullbacks, because you always want to try and grab a goal or assist. So I've got Fuchs from Leicester, he's a very attacking left back. Yedlin from Newcastle, only 4.5 million, and he is more of a winger half the time than he is a defender. I've got Bruno from Brighton. He's obviously their captain. He's obviously getting on a bit in age, but I imagine he's still going to play a lot of games for them, and he wasn't that expensive either. But obviously that just depends on how Brighton are going to do in the Prem. We don't know who Newcastle are going to do. I've gone for Cedric at Southampton. He got a lot of points last year. He was on the top board, and obviously we know he got quite a few bonus points and stuff as well. And then I've gone for Macaulay. Macaulay's potentially injured, and to be honest, I've done nowhere near enough research to back up these claims of 5 defenders, so I'm going to have to see how it goes. But my aim stays true to try and get goal-scoring fullbacks or a centre-back like Macaulay, who gets quite a few goals, who aren't that expensive, to give me that time or money for my midfielders and strikers. So this bit will be much more fun. Right then, Sanchez, 12 million. Is it worth it? Possibly. Hazard's obviously injured. Dele Alli 9.5 million. Sigurdsson, Swansea player. He did a cracking job last year. Coutinho, 9 million. Ozil, Pedro. Okay, I'm gonna put Dele Alli in as well. I'm going to jump into the forwards because these are 3 I'm definitely going to play. They've got Firmino down as a forward now. Harry Kane. Lukaku. Who should be my 3rd? I'm kind of tempted towards Defoe, but 8 million. He's up there on the leaderboard for a reason. Okay, I'm gonna back what I said originally and go Defoe, and I've only got 13 million left to spend. Oh, good. Right then, that is it. I have gone through it too many times, and considering we're still ages away from the start of the season, I'm finally going to give up and I'm going to show you my team. So I stuck with Pickford and Elliott at the back. They are at the back. They're in net. Defence, Fuchs I think is a good one. Yedlin attacking right back. Bruno, it just depends how, you don't know how these teams are going to do. It's almost like a guessing game at the minute. I went for a Stoke player, Cameron. Let's hope he gets a game, because I don't actually know if he does. And then I went for a slightly more expensive defender, Bertrand at Southampton. Tempted to change that, haven't yet, but there's a reasoning behind why I managed to spend a little bit more money on him. So midfield, I did have Sanchez in like you saw, but I had to take him out. He is so expensive. I remember last year definitely being able to fit in a handful of really expensive players, along with a lot of very cheap players, but I don't think I've been able to go quite cheap enough because I don't know exactly who is going to be playing at the start of the season. So I'm going to have to do more research on that. So yeah, I dropped Sanchez down for Coutinho. Ideally, I'd like to have had them both, to be honest. I've got Dele Alli, I've got Moy from Huddersfield, big money spending from them, and I think he is pretty much going to do a lot for them this season in the way of free kicks, penalties, corners and so on, so hopefully he can get some points. I went for Shelvey because, again, like Moy at Huddersfield, Shelvey's going to take a lot of the corners, a lot of the free kicks and so on and so on. And then I went for Capoue in the middle. He got a lot of points last season considering he's a defensive... Is he a defensive midfielder? I'm not even sure, but I didn't have him down to be getting as many goals as he did last year. But yeah, I'd rather remove him, put someone in worse, remove Bertrand, put someone in worse, and have the money for Sanchez, but the money is really tight, and that's mainly due to the fact of my 3 strikers, Harry Kane, Lukaku, and Defoe. That's probably the only bit I'm properly happy with. But even then, I think Harry Kane will score goals for fun, again, I think. Defoe, he can score goals anywhere. I don't think he's going to get as many goals as Harry Kane, but then he's 4.5 million less than him. So even so, I still think he's a good choice. And then Lukaku on paper, should be amazing for Man U this year. But You don't know until it starts. Yeah, so once that team's made, even though some of the players did look a bit not great, obviously it's down to the formation and who you actually use as a sub. So Pickford and net, Fuchs, Yedlin, Bertrand, that's alright. And then obviously Coutinho, Ali with Moy and Shelvey, that isn't too bad either, I don't think. And then obviously my strike force is pretty good. So obviously it just comes down to how much money you're willing to kind of spend on your subs. If someone's injured, it automatically comes in. If not, you can make as many subs as you want between game weeks, and you can make one transfer a week for free, and then it costs 4 points for every additional transfer. So when you looked at it on the bigger scale, it looked like there was maybe too many players that I went a bit cheap on. But once I get my formation sorted, because obviously I'm always going to have those 3 strikers up front, behind that it doesn't look too bad. But yes, it is up to you guys, and I'm obviously just guessing and should have done way more research. But we have 3 weeks until the Premier League starts, and this video probably is a bit early, but the main thing was I wanted to let you guys know I have set up a league and I will be doing it again this year. If you guys have enjoyed the video, then maybe I could do like a team update video before the Premier League does actually start, because I will have to actually sit down and do this properly before it does start, because I did not do well last year. It'll be good if I could win my own league. I don't think it'll happen, but maybe one of you guys could win it. So yeah, get involved. Like I said, I hope you have enjoyed the video, and yeah, as always guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.